Hey YouTube, it's Hannah Loba. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
So Jay, here's the way they qualified. Cameron Beaubier with a brand new track record at a 2:08.464. Did it with raindrops falling. Incredible performance with Herrin and Gagne next to him.
Yeah, STK there fourth. JD Beach, great qualifying from him. Bobby Fong just outside of row 2. Then we have Cam Peterson, Xavi Forres riding for the injured Richie Escalante again. Wish him well. Brandon Posh, Baz Lampkin, and Benjamin Smith. And then we're going to have Danilo Lewis, who was quick just now in that wet warm-up, to Silva, Flinders, Ashton Yates, Alex Arango, Augustin Sierra there. And then Bobby Davis is going to round out the field in row 7 as we get ready to go here.
It just started to sprinkle, and Cameron put it out of his mind and was able to get it done. Here we go. Revs are up. And they're away racing. And watch the spray coming off the racetrack as they head down into turn number 1. Bobby Fong on the 50 trying to find any grip and loses some places, but it's going to be Josh Herrin on the number 2 who's going to lead us into turn number 1. A really great start for Herrin.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a surprise. Now we're going to see if the setup changes that Warhorse team made, if it made a difference. Sean Dillon Kelly quickly up into second place with Gagne, Beaubier, and Cam Peterson there just behind. Now it's that ever-important run down to turn 5. As you can see here, JD Beach also got out a little bit wide. SDK is going to lead his first Superbike race down into turn 5 here at Road America.
And he is trying to yard the rest of the field. Sean Dillon Kelly on the Top Pro Racing BMW M1000RR gets it sideways and can't get it slowed down. A little bit too much to ask, so he's going to have to reset and fall back in line. We'll see if he gets close to the top 10 as he rejoins the race. That leaves us the number 1. Attack Performance Progressive Yamahas, Jake Gagne out front.
And we'd be remiss to say, Greg, last time we were at Barber, you talked about it. It was the arm pump that Jake Gagne was suffering from a little bit at Barber. He said he had it a little bit at Atlanta and a little bit at Barber. As you see, his teammate now goes to work on Cam Beaubier. Cam Peterson slides down to take that spot away. So we have teammates 1 and 2.
On the Flow for Law Racing.
Sorry to call that out wrong. Longo running 15th, so he's doing a good job in 15th as Alex.
So a little sideways goes Cam Peterson looking for a drive.
You see those things spinning? They're spinning in 5th and 6th gear. Just like what Baz was talking about, as Beaubier is able to try to think about going down the inside of Gagne. So we'll see if he makes us past Stick. He's up the inside of Gagne right now. And Gagne gave him a little bit of space there. That's just smart racing. That's just, you're not going to just turn in on the guy. So Gagne lets Beaubier through.
In a moment, just an eyeful of the 40 as we go into turn number 3. This is the exit where they come out, and a lot of racers have been searching for traction right there. And Sean Dillon Kelly nearly ends up on his head, but able to save it by rolling out of the throttle. But he's not giving up yet. He's still trying to reel in Cameron Beaubier.
Get extremely sideways. This is one of the places where we've seen it puddling up. You can see Beaubier goes through it and SDK goes through it. Wow. And then the mistake here from Beaubier. That's where electronics are so key, and they help you and they save you. And you can see both bikes backing in. Now Cam Beaubier's doing what SDK did, and he made some mistake. So Cam Beaubier makes the same mistake that we saw Sean Dillon Kelly make. That's going to put Beaubier back into 7th place or so. I'll have to check that. But now SDK watches a fellow BMW rider do the exact same thing he did. And now it's going to be key for him to just hit his marks. I mean, he's got a long way to go. He has shown that he's fast. You can see the bikes just fishtailing all the way down through here. And they're just going to be snapping around on you, Greg. And sometimes when you get these bikes in the torque curve.
Oh, there he goes. He's down.
Man.
A little bit too much braking and a very interesting lean angle.
He did a really good job. If you saw him fold his arms up, that is just too bad for Sean Dillon Kelly there. Cam Peterson now is going to be leading.
Kelly, he was more mid-track than he's been. And watch, he's just leaned over just a little bit to the left. Right, in the dry they do that. It's a little bit of a left kick with a little bit of braking and then transition back. And unfortunately for SDK.
And these guys now this is 2nd and 3rd. Gagne and Baz, as it looks like Cam P is up the road. There he is. I was a little worried there for a minute, but there he is, and JD Beach is there. And how about let's throw a Brandon Posh, Greg, 2:37.4 for Brandon Posh as he's battling back there with his teammate. And both of these guys on these M4 X-Star Suzukis with vision wheel on the sides are moved into both 5th and 6th place and coming forward.
Pretty impressive as the number 1 trying to hold off the 76 as Loris Baz, a rider who's been on the podium in World Superbike in wet conditions, coming from Europe. We automatically build most of the European riders as good rain riders, but Baz definitely has the skills. As you look at the battle for the podium, I want to notch back to the number 95 of JD Beach and talk about JD Beach for a second, because the Tyler Cycle Racing rider JD Beach had kind of a miserable Barber Motorsports part. And what a run this would be if the Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki team was able to put it on the podium as that program continues to chip away at these front runners. Doing a great job, Xavi Forez. I talked to him extensively about this motorcycle, and he was telling me that the chassis is very, very good. In the dry conditions, where he would like to see that motorcycle improve, Jason, is
if it was dry, he'd probably be able to just go smoking right by them.
Yeah, but it was right at the top of the hill. It was
yeah.
right at the top of the hill where it looked like maybe he's getting a little bit of spin as they go around some lap traffic. There was the 111 who crashed earlier, and so they're able to get around the 111. At least Cam Peterson is and the number 1 plate. And it looks like Beaubier down.
Turn 1 for Cam Beaubier. He is down. That's going to be fast, Greg. As you can see, he's up and limping. He's trying to get over to his bike, probably, but it... Oh, man.
If Gagne is able to win this race, he's going to take over the championship lead as we head into tomorrow's race action. Cameron Peterson, on the other hand, is 37 points behind Cameron Beaubier in the championship when this race started. So both riders are going to gain huge points advantage. But boy, if you're the team and if you're definitely one of the main sponsors, Yamaha, you're thinking to yourself, do we care who wins?
Oh, this is not a good sign here on the right side there. You see Cam Beaubier being lifted by
something with his leg.
Yeah, that is not good, especially when we got Brainerd. We got a big run of races coming up. We're at Brainerd in 2 weeks. Then a couple weeks after that, we're at the Ridge. So let's hope that there's nothing too wrong with that right leg of Beaubier. But for these guys here at the front, unless Cam Peterson can make a perfectly clean pass, I think that he's going to look at these 20 points, Greg, and I'm not here to say that he's just sitting behind Gagne. He wants to win as bad as anybody does the 45, but he's got a good head on his shoulders, Cam Peterson does, and this is a great result for this team after maybe a qualifying that we're not used to seeing out of them both.
Yeah, definitely not, as they've been chasing some speed all weekend long, but in these conditions, it's perfect for these attack performance progressive Yamahas. So Jake Gagne, your national champion, trying to take over the championship points lead with, unfortunately, a Cameron Beaubier crashing out and looks like he's injured, as we await to hear what's going to happen with him for the rest of the season, the rest of the weekend. But it's all about this number 1 getting the power down to the ground with half a lap to go. Is Cameron Peterson going to make any type of big move as they continue to slip and slide around this racetrack?
I think it's going to be a draft move for Cam Peterson. Oh, no, he's going to have a go. Is he thinking about it? Wow, he thought about it. But you know what he wants to do? He wants to be close enough, Greg. If he can be close enough coming out of that last corner, he might be able to draft his teammate to the line. So they got to get through turn 13 clear, as he has a look now on the outside, which will set him up to the inside. And he's going to have a go, Greg, as he shakes a shot down into turn 14.
He's going to be able to hold on to it and find traction as they go side by side. They almost bump. Here they come up to the line. It's a huge drag race. Identical motorcycles going after it. We come over the crest of the hill. They're side by side, and it's got to be Cameron Peterson.
Oh, wow, what a run a race.
Thousandths of a second, and the fastest lap of the race at a 2:33.267. And he doesn't even know, but we're telling you right now, Cam P, you got it.
Really helped him, and then also I like Jake Gagne's comment with Cam Peterson. I mean, they're such good friends. It's almost like two buddies at the motocross track on the weekend or at a club race, just out there having a lot of fun, laughing in his helmet, but battling for a Superbike win.
Yeah, and I love that he admitted to the laughing inside of the helmet also. There are a couple of big incidents that we saw in this race today. You have to remember we have another race tomorrow as well, the second race of this round of competition. And when you think about riders like Cam Beaubier that we saw limping away.
Yeah, that's big, and it's going to be interesting to see how Cam is. And honestly, the last couple weeks in the dry, Cam Beaubier looks like he has a step on the competition. And, you know, this weekend as well, if it would have been dry, these guys were going to have to find something to be able to run with Cam. So we're going to